Hey, what to do, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we got like a super duper good video for you guys. Some of it's going to kind of be like a little bit on the sentimental side a little bit, but we are going to have some work related stuff, some ranch related stuff. But the bulk of this video today is going to be kind of in honor of a buddy of mine. His name's Chris. He's in the military. He just received what's called the Vanguard Award. And originally I was not going to make a video about this because it's kind of personal. It's kind of like community based, but we had a bunch of people come together and actually like pitch in to help do something for him while he was out getting his award. And it just turned into like this whole cool process. We had some materials donated, and so when that happened I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video out of this. And the reason being is because it was just so cool how the community came together and we were able to do something small. It's not like this big grand achievement that we did, but it is a cool little story. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump on in this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's roll. Yeah, we just pulled into Superior. This is their Hamishaw location. This is like my favorite quarry. It's probably their smallest quarry, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I love it here. So the area that I'm rolling through right now, the fire like raged through here. And oak trees usually fare pretty well, but I'm not sure how these ones are gonna turn out. Alright, so driving back here was a little bit of a chore, kind of a tight area. So you guys can see this beautiful load of DG from Superior. Got Noah over there in the 236, got my buddy Neil over there. And we're going to get this spread out, get it wet down, compact it nice. So hopefully this goes pretty quick. Alright, well, we got the pad all smoothed out. Now we just got to set up the pool. And yeah, the hard part's done. So Neil and Noah are going to take off. And yeah, we'll get this pool set up, get it filling up, so that way when they get back, they can have something nice to swim in. Alright, well, that's about a wrap for today. Here's the pool. We got a nice flat level pad for it. We had his kids out here just kind of flatten out some of the wrinkles down at the bottom of the pool. And so now it's just filling. It's going to probably take a while, but they're going to have a pool when they get back from Texas. And we'll stop by when they get back. Maybe we'll have a barbecue. We'll see. Gonna let my tailgate open up, throw my tools in there, and I'm headed home. All right, so backing in here was a trick loaded. It should be quite a bit easier now that I'm empty because my truck's not gonna want to rock as much. But here's what I had to back down. It was pretty tight corners. And the tightest part was where this truck was at. All right, so over here at Chris's, you guys can see the pool that got set up. When I left, it had maybe this much water in it. So now it is set up. You guys can see the GG around it. It turned out pretty nice. It's not like a deluxe operation, but it was a good community effort. So anyhow, you guys can see that stuff's like starting to grow back a little bit. But I'm gonna let Chris tell you guys about the fire and how it came through here. All right, so how'd it come through here?
So the fire started on the far side of the ridge, and I saw it. It was, I don't know, noon, 1 o'clock, and I walked outside and I saw this big smoke cloud, and I walked inside, and my mom had come for her birthday. Her birthday was on the 6th, fire was on the 5th, and I was like, hey Mom, hey Heather, listen, we should probably leave now. And they're like, what's going on? And then they came outside and they saw the big smoke plume, and they're like, So we loaded up in your Suburban, which is cool. Thanks for the lend.
Hey, no problem.
And put the dogs in there and the boys in there, and me and my mom, and then Heather and the girls. We rolled out, and that's when I ran into you down by Rudnick. But the fire came through all the way out until just before your place,
which is over there.
Yeah, that's where they kind of set the boundary, and it burned. I mean, you can see my whole oak grove got cooked, but some of it's coming back. I'm excited to see some of it come back. And I ran into you out on Rudnick, you and Craig, and we zipped back to your place.
Dude, that was such a wild day.
So listen, you hopped on the back on the bumper, and then Craig hopped on the back of the bumper and start going faster. And the whole time I'm driving, like, these guys are gonna fall off the back of the Suburban. And we made it to Craig's house, and you guys hopped out, and I just like looked at my mom and I was like, I'm gonna stay. And she did her whole mom moment and was like, honey, are you sure? And I was like, I've got to. These are my friends. This is my neighborhood. I'm gonna stay. And so I hopped out, and Craig put me into, what's the blue, is it a Dodge or a Chevy, his dually?
That's the Dodge.
The
stick
Dodge,
shift?
the stick shift Dodge.
Yeah,
and I get in, I'm like, I can drive a stick shift, but it's not your standard like 6 gear. And I got in, and I killed it, and I started, and I killed it, and I rolled down the window. I was like, Craig, I can't drive this, man.
Well, he's got that fancy clutch in there.
Yeah, and so he's like, all right, get out. And then he put me in the Lincoln, which is the nicest vehicle I've ever been in my life, and was like, drive this thing out of here. And so we did that, and we got separated, and we couldn't get a hold of each other, and then we got back together, and then I ended up in your truck. I don't even remember how I got into your truck.
I don't either.
Then Neil showed up, and the fire pushed past Bunny. And after it pushed past Bunny, Neil came over, and he's like, do you think we can make it back in? And I was like, I don't know, dude, but worst case, we just turn around and come back. And that's when we came down here. That's when we saw Craig's place, and we saw their granny flat burning, and we saw Mo and Neil's all the way down to Mike's place. And I thought my house had burned up way earlier than that, so we didn't even come up here. But we got to Neil's, and Neil's father-in-law or ex-father-in-law had a trash pump and like 300 feet of hose, and we hooked that up, and then we just started at Neil's and worked our way out. And I remember at Neil's house, we started, and like a half hour into it, all of a sudden the water pressure just disappeared, and he sent Noah up. Noah's his son. He sent Noah up to the top to look at it, and Noah comes running down. He's like, Dad, the water tank's gone. And he was like, what the heck do you mean the water tank's gone? And so I ran up there with Noah, and sure enough, it had exploded, and all that was left was just this ring of plastic on the ground. So we had to shift to Mo's. But, you know, long story short, we worked from Neil's out and managed to knock down a bunch of the fires. And then at like, I don't know, middle of the night, Rolf, who lives at the top of Wise Cover, was like, let's just go check on your house, man. And we drove up here in his Razor or whatever, Rhino, and we come up to the driveway, and the smoke kind of parted a little bit, and it was the most surreal thing ever, because not only were the lights on, but when we walked in the house, the AC was on too. And so we came into the house, and we got a couple of bottles of water, and then we went back outside, and we used the old pool before this pool, because it was leaking really bad. We used 5-gallon buckets and that water, and we put out all the fires around the house, and then we just left. We went back down, and that was it, man. We spent the next week fighting fires, and you spent the next week filling up fire trucks.
Yep.
So that was it. That's the story of the fire.
So when this fire was coming through here, guys, I mean, it was so smoky. It was bright back here. I remember coming down over the hill just thinking my dump trucks had burned to the ground. And so I had a couple friends actually help me get the trucks out of the valley. But this whole area back here, I mean, I was scared to come back here, but he was back here like in the middle of it, fighting the fires. And so yeah, this is why we all just want to get together. There is such a strong sense of community back here. I love this place. So Chris, he really did save like a lot of people's houses. Like my father-in-law's house, he had a container there that just had like all his tools in it.
And did you see the door actually blow off? Did you see that happen?
So what had happened was the propane tank started spewing propane out of the top. It's got that relief valve. So it was like a flamethrower, and it was going like 10 feet in the air. So we looked over, and when I looked over at that, we could see the Connex box was on fire, the shipping container, and that was catching the trees on fire, which were then going to catch Mo's house on fire. And Mo is the next neighbor over, and we'd already like secured out that far, so we didn't want it to go more. So we drug the hoses over, and when we came over, the door burst off as we were coming around the corner. It landed like 15-20 feet away, and it was just shooting flames out to where the door was. And this is like, I was talking with some other guys that were at this thing, and I was like, when did you have that moment of clarity where you're like, this is it, I'm doing something crazy right now? And that was my moment, was because I was like, dude, there's a flamethrower coming out of this storage container, you know. But it was also the most like calm I was during all of it, because on the ship you're having a steel fire. You're having these an engine compartment on fire, and I've been through a couple of those. And so I was like, oh, I know how to do this. I can do this. And the whole night I was way out of my element, because who other than, you know, these crazy forest fighters are out there does this normally? It's not normal to anybody else. But that, I'd done it enough times in the Navy where, like, I can put this fucker out, I'll be all right. So that was insane, because every time you thought it was out, something else inside the container would catch.
Yeah.
And then you get another blowout from the door. So, but we eventually got it. That was that. That was a wild night.
Yeah. So next to this container was a bunch of eucalyptus trees, which, if you guys don't know what eucalyptus trees are, they have like a special oil in them that, like, these things are raging infernos when they're on fire.
Yep.
So anyhow, what we had tried to do at this pool, we were trying to like sneak attack and surprise him. I didn't know he had cameras around his house.
To be fair though, all I saw was you pulling your truck up from the corner.
Okay.
I don't have a camera back here. So I thought, oh, James is gonna go check it out. That's awesome. I just thought you were on your way home from work. And then like 4 or 5 hours later, Lily sent me a picture of the pool, and I was like, this guy. So I and then you told me everything that went into it. I didn't know that Neil and Noah, the other neighbors, had come. I didn't know that Hattie came. I didn't know that Craig came. I literally thought you were coming here just to look at it and be like, all right, Chris, this is what you need to do to level this ground. So super thankful, man. Like, I love it. And the kids have spent the whole weekend, or the whole week, because now it's the weekend. So
Yeah. So anyhow, it ended up being like this super cool little thing where the community got together. Again, I'm going to give a big shout out to Superior, because they donated the DG that we're standing on.
it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's super nice material. But yeah, big shout out to Superior. It was super nice of them. They didn't even hesitate. And the reason we were trying to sneak attack it is because Chris was out in Texas getting the Vanguard award, which all this stuff that he was talking about right now, the fire stuff, the military submits it, and then it goes into review for like acts of.
So
what is
your
the Vanguard
command
award? Submits
it to the Non-Commissioned Officers Association. Is like, if you know the VFW, it's a similar organization like that, but think bigger, like way bigger. So Congress has recognized them. I showed up and every who's who of the enlisted community was there. The Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, the Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Joint Chiefs was there. Like, I had no idea until I walked in, and then I shaved like 4 times that day. But they give out this award every year to one person from each service. So Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force. Oh yeah, the Coast Guard. I did that on purpose. I'm kidding. And then soon to be the Space Force. So they even sent a Master Sergeant from the Space Force there. And your command submits it, and then it goes up to your senior enlisted guy from your whatever service it is. So for me, it was the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. They submit it to him, and then he takes all of the submissions and then selects one and says, hey, this is the Navy's guy. Sends that back to them, and then they fly those guys out to wherever their annual meeting is and present the award. And so in this year, the senior enlisted advisor to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs was the one that actually gave out the award, which was really cool because the guy is a legitimate war hero. And like, I don't know a lot of people's names, but I knew his name, and that's not him. So, what?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So that's what that Vanguard award is. And
Okay. So he's being pretty modest. I think it's a big deal. Anyhow, Chris is like a super good friend. We've got to know each other pretty well over the past year.
yeah.
And we just want to do something nice for him because he's like a hero in the community. My kids put a bunch of signs up so when he came home that he could recognize that we truly appreciate everything that he does back here. So when the fire was coming through here, I know right now this looks like kind of nice, like it's kind of clean dirt. This used to all be brush back here, all of it. And so when the fire came through here, it just was so fast, so high. I think it was 100, was it 115? 113 that day. I mean, so it was hot, hot, hot. And it just was a crazy, crazy day that I'll probably never forget. So anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and probably jump on to the next part of the video. Yeah, thanks, man.
Appreciate it. Very cool.
Ow!
You want some gloves? Never mind, you'll get blood in my gloves. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
Edit that out.
It's going. Well, I think we got the pin in there enough. We might have to rotate it a little bit later once we take some pressure off the tracks, but I think we can get it over there, get that tree knocked down.
Should use this on the 305.
Yeah. I wonder if we can actually pick it up.
Maybe.
There's a lot of nice boulders down here. We're gonna have to harvest these and take them.
Repurpose them?
What was that?
Repurpose?
Harvest.
All right.
Yeah, repurpose. I got some preliminary testing / studies that I want to do. I'm gonna attempt for about 30 seconds to do this old school. Maybe 10. We'll see. We got the Harbor Freight version here, 4.5 pound. And then
East wing?
East wing, made in America. We'll try Chinese first.
Chinesian?
Oh, safe swing distance.
I bet it's like stupid hard.
This is still like,
Better put some glasses on.
yeah, that's still really hard. I think we'll be able to make something cool out of this. Alright, let's try American made. This is the one-handed
Probably
version.
American made. Oh, you're getting in there. Ow. I'll try
No
it.
dice, no dice. Single blow, it's like, poof. Dude, it's hard. Do you think you can tomahawk throw into this tree? All right, John testing his Indian skills. Here we go. Fail. Let's try
I got
it again. Oh, almost.
Is it hitting the head hitting?
I don't know. I can't tell. I'm just filming.
Them did a big one, a good job.
Yeah. Solid. That's a ringer. Wait, this isn't horseshoes.
Some good penetration.
Nice. Ooh, yeah, it does. Okay, I'm gonna try.
This guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, now be the big one.
Big one?
Yeah.
All right. You got any advice? I don't think I've ever tried this before.
Just one rotation's all you want. That was like 1.5. Hey, that was closer.
Almost.
If you're better, as good as me, you got to get it this time.
Oh.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah!
I knew before.
Third time's a charm.
Let's see if I can split that saw in half.
Saw? I didn't know we had saws.
No, guys.
Ka-dunk.
Now, we've never done anything like this before, and we don't suggest that you guys do it at home. So I'm not gonna say we're trained professionals, but
Semi-pro.
this is definitely probably not safe. So don't do this at home.
All right, here goes. Stand behind me a little bit. Stand over here. No, behind me. Over here.
Well, now, that's better when we push the other one out of house.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, we're in business. All right, here we go. This is probably a bad idea, but we'll see how it goes. Whoa. Right in the poop. You're good. Good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the culprits that destroy these trees. But go ahead and tip it over. Ooh. That is what the inside of a dead tree looks like. But I still think we can make that look cool.
What? You're good.
So John just looked at it and it's starting to fall apart. Eek. Not very strong. The wood, that
Build a
is.
house with it.
All right, guys. Well, as always, I appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch. Give me a huge solid like, subscribe, hit that notification button, share this video with your amigos, and we will see you guys next time.